hiding.
Hello?
If you've ever been alone in the woods, you know the silence isn't really silent. It hides things. These 6 terrifying moments were all filmed in the wilderness, and they'll make you question what's really out there. Let's dive into the first encounter. The first video tonight comes from Tolber's Camping, a solo van life and car camping YouTube channel focused on off-grid adventures in nature, often in remote forests or state land. It is May the 27th, 2022, and while car camping solo deep in the woods, the creator found himself in what he described as one of the sketchiest moments of his van life experience. A truck with at least 2 people inside slowly began creeping past his camp, stopping, idling, and moving again, as if they were checking out his setup.
Here, creeping. Guys, there's kind of like a sketchy truck. There's at least 2 guys in there. If you can see their brake lights here, they keep like stopping and going super slow. I don't know if they're just trying to check me out and see what I got going on. Obviously, I carried that like nice power station and stuff back in here, so I didn't show myself like packing back up, but I'm by myself and I do not have you know what to shoot, so I got some bear base and like a knife and stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna hang out here or if I'm gonna go to a different spot tonight. I mean, I got my setup basically ready to go. I just everything's back in the van. The fire's basically burnt out, so if I have to roll out of here, I just don't want them to be scoping me out and then tonight try to come in here and maybe mess with the van or try to, you know, rob me of what I got in here. So I'm just finishing up my coffee right now. I got the lights off in here just because I don't want them to be able to see in here very well, just in case they are being weirdos and trying to see what I got going on. They may be cool, maybe they're just dealing with some vehicle issues, but you never know, man. When you're out in the middle of the woods by yourself, people do weird stuff, dude. So I'm kind of laying low right now. The fire is basically almost out. I'm not going to put any more logs on that thing. Just gonna relax, have the rest of my coffee here, and then we'll turn the lights on. There's another car there being kind of sketchy. Not as sketchy as the other car, but just finishing packing up. I'm not sure if I want to put the window shades up or not yet, just in case I got to roll. I don't want to not be able to see out the windows. Well, guys, it's almost pitch dark out here. The phone does make it look a little bit brighter. The fire's basically out. Those people left, thankfully. I'm a little iffy tonight, but I'm going to start putting on my window shades here now, and then we'll get inside. Well, guys, I am in the safe van. I have all the window shades up. That was by far the most sketchy situation I've been van camping. It's kind of hard to describe, but people were going extremely slow and being really weird. The second one might have been some kids doing something they shouldn't be. But the first one was just really weird. It took him about 10 minutes to go, and I mean, he was going super slow. He was leaning out like as if he was like listening for the sound of his car or something, but I've never heard somebody go that slow, and just, especially when you're right by somebody, to be that weird. Like, wouldn't you just go down the road a little bit? So I know there was a passenger in there. I don't know if there's other people in the back. He had really tinted windows. It's just kind of weird, especially when you have a nice power station. You got some nice equipment inside your van, and if you never know if somebody's trying to like scout you out, see if you have a weapon, to see what you have, or see if you're a single female or something. Thankfully, I'm a male, but if I was a female, a pretty female, you never know what would happen.
One of them even leaned out of the window, almost as if they were scouting. It didn't feel like just curiosity. It felt intentional. With expensive gear like a high-wattage power station in plain sight, he knew he had to stay sharp. He shut off his interior lights, stayed quiet, and debated whether to pack up and move. A second vehicle passed later, adding even more unease to the situation. There was no confrontation in the end, but the tension was real. It was a reminder that when you're out in the middle of nowhere, especially alone, you have to be ready for anything. Tolbers has since said he plans to get a concealed carry permit, just in case. Out here, it's better to be overly cautious than to end up in a situation you can't control. Be honest. Could you spend a night out there, alone in the dark, not knowing what's lurking just beyond the trees? Or are you content watching from your blanket-wrapped safety zone? The next horrifying video comes from Salvage to Scenic, a channel where the creator documents the transformation of a scrapyard truck into a functional travel machine. It is January the 22nd, 2024, and during what was supposed to be a peaceful late-night van camp, things take a disturbing turn. Around 2 a.m., the solo traveler is woken up by a suspicious vehicle slowly circling his van, before dropping off two hooded figures nearby.
It's like 12:30 in the morning. A car just pulled up into the parking lot. It honked its horn and then did a lap around me. Heard a door open and close. And I saw a guy walk right in front of my car, brushing the front corner of it. I heard some talking and stuff, and I'm looking out the window right now at two people in all black in hoods. They're hiding under a security camera, probably out of sight. And they've got a bag on the ground, like a big duffel or backpack or something. And I don't know if they're doing a deal or if they've got tools in there and they're fixing to break into my garage. But I don't really like this. Suddenly they have vanished. It looked like they went around that back corner of the building, but I don't really know.
After enjoying some dinner and soaking in the views, the video jumps to the middle of the night. Two men dressed in all black, hoods up, begin creeping around the area. They brush up against his van, appearing to duck and hide from nearby security cameras. It's unsettling, like something straight out of a crime movie.
10 minutes later, and they're back. I'm just trying to sleep, man. Just walking over here right now. Bro, what the f? There's one going over there. And another one is still over here. I don't like this at all. This doesn't seem good at all. Especially because they were dropped off here and the car left. I think I've spent too many nights here and they want to know what's in the back of this thing, or they want to, I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, made it through the night. This trash can is now sitting in kind of the middle of the pavement here for some reason. So that happened sometime between passing out and waking up. I fell asleep sitting here on guard, kind of listening. There was revving of engines, yelling and screaming. And I saw those two people doing sketchy stuff for like half an hour, and there was more screaming after that. So I decided to put my windshield cover up, and I decided to put my keys in the ignition to get power to our digital rear view mirror. So I was able to swipe and have a view front and behind of the truck, and fell asleep watching that, keeping guard. And fortunately, I killed the truck battery completely. So hopefully we're able to jump it with our jump pack. Just gonna clamp this sucker on. And it's boosting to 12.1. Gosh. You're gonna try again? All right, we're boosting. Please, 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 please. Everything else is off. Oh. Oh.
Oh, man. Happy Monday, people. It is a Monday today, at least. I don't know what day of the week.
The men vanish for a bit, only to reappear a short time later. They seem to be scoping the area, sneaking around with a large duffel bag, almost as if they're planning something. What makes it worse is that the car that dropped them off sped off immediately, leaving them behind. Luckily, even though he'd accidentally drained his battery by falling asleep with the engine on and his rear camera running as a lookout, he managed to jumpstart the van and get back on the road. This encounter feels like the textbook image of a robbery in progress. Two hooded figures, dressed in black, carrying a duffel bag, sneaking around under the cover of night. Maybe it was innocent, but based on how they acted, that's hard to believe. Either way, it's the kind of situation that would leave anyone rattled. Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you're enjoying it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and right now, 80% of viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot. Your support helps us continue creating awesome, creepy videos. Now, let's get back to the video. The next chilling video comes from Back to Basics Adventures, a YouTube channel hosted by Strick, known for solo survival missions, primitive bushcraft, and remote island adventures. Strick often travels to isolated parts of Australia, surviving off the land with minimal gear and no backup. It is May the 9th, 2025, and what starts as a typical survival trip takes a disturbing turn. While exploring the island, Strick stumbles upon an unsettling arrangement of imported rocks, believed to be relics from an old headhunting tribe's ritual site. He retreats respectfully, but after returning to camp, things begin to feel off, and the night only gets stranger from there.
So there we have it, guys. Fish and chips served with a view. Pretty good, doesn't it? Alrighty, let's see how he went with these chips. Man, did you hear that crunch? Sort of want them to taste like a potato chip, but they're almost really good, but there's a bit of a sour taste that you don't get with your normal chips from the fish and chip shop. They've got a bit of a sour aftertaste that almost tastes a little bit like you're not meant to eat them. They almost taste a little bit poisonous, so I might go a little bit easy on them, but there's nothing wrong with that at all. That meat on that long time is actually quite nice. They are riddled with a lot of bones. At the moment behind you guys, we've got one hell of a Mother Nature show going on. The sun's setting, there's birds coming back in. Amazing. So I'm gonna smash this food down and watch it all unfold. So I've been setting a trail cam before bed most nights to see if we can catch any of the animal activity, like the turtles coming up to nest or the goannas sniffing around for the turtles' eggs. So we'll put it here, and then that way we can get any turtles coming up or goannas coming down. Testing, 1, 2.
As he enjoys the meal, he cooked using only what he found on the island. Everything seems fine, until he bites into what he thought was a potato. After tasting something off, he spits it out and realizes it might have been a poisonous arrowhead root. Luckily, he stops eating it in time and sticks to the fish, which seems safe.
Someone's outside. I've just heard someone outside. Hello? Hello?
Did you catch it? As he steps outside his tent, something or someone appears to run off, just out of frame on the left. It's quick, but it's there.
Hello? Oh man, I've got crazy goosebumps at the moment. I heard someone outside. Wow. My fire is now going again that I put out hours ago. And I heard footprints straight, unmistakably out the front of my swag that woke me up. And that fire has kicked back off again. I put that fire out hours ago because it was so smoky. Whew. Oh, there's no way I'm getting back to sleep now. The hairs on my neck are like standing up with chills. I'm just gonna sit out here and see if I hear it again. Oh man, that, sorry for the language. Oh, what a crazy, crazy night. I've been trying to think what that noise could have been, like a rational explanation. Maybe it was a big turtle that was swimming in the shallows and came up for a breath. They do a big loud that type of a thing when they come up for a breath. Oh, actually, I set the trail camera up last night. I'm gonna go have a look, see if there's any footage on that. So these trail cameras, they're set up so they will only start filming if two things happen: if there's movement in front of them, or if there is a heat source moving in front of them. So, yeah, got me hopping around outside with a torch. It's got me coming outside of the swag here, but oh man, this is the crazy thing. So this starts filming when I reckon I heard the noise, and then, you know, like 10 seconds later, you see me then start turning the torch on and filming inside the swag, and then I come outside. There's no obvious movement, but there must have been, I mean, a heat source or something has triggered this. There's a dead bird. Like, this is where I've got my bag and stuff I put down last night, fishing rod. And how did I not notice this dead bird right where all my gear was? Some strange, a bit of a strange feeling about this place, eh? That's weird, really weird. Let's see if we can catch some brekkie.
Later that night, Strick is jolted awake by the sound of movement outside his tent. He steps out, armed, trying to see what's there, but nothing. The weirdest part is the fire he put out hours ago somehow seems to have relit itself. When he checks his trail cam footage, you can clearly see something, or someone, running off as he opens the tent. It's not solid proof, but it's enough to make you think. Being out on a remote island, miles from the nearest person, and seeing real signs that someone else might be out there with you, that's true survival horror. It's easy to prepare for wildlife, but what we rarely expect, what truly unnerves us, is when another person appears where no one else should be. That's when curiosity turns to fear. The next shocking video of the night comes from Dave Explores, a YouTube channel focused on urban exploration, abandoned places, and real-world mysteries. Dave travels to remote or forgotten locations, often in deserts, ghost towns, or off-the-map areas, documenting eerie finds like deserted homesteads, vehicles, and old mining equipment. It is April 27th, 2025. And while exploring the Nevada desert, Dave comes across something far more unsettling than usual. Tucked away in the vast emptiness, he discovers an old school bus that appears to have been used as a home.
Look at this. There's an old bus, a Toyota Tercel, I believe, and a miner's cabin. Someone was clearly living in it. There's bullet holes. It's been shot up. We'll go in right now. But this bus is old. It's like 1950s or 60s. It's gonna be very sketchy. Oh wow, that's cool. Still opens and closes. Check this out, guys. Yeah, someone was living here. All the controls, and look at the size of the steering wheel. Be alert, look when backing up and turning. I always wanted to push one of these. I never had the opportunity. Imagine we get stuck in here. Well, that's cool. I don't know how to drive a bus, but it's interesting. The table, look at all this stuff left. Got a knife, tons of cooking pots, even a canteen. This doesn't look that old. 2015 fall catalog, Carson Tahoe Health, chronic. Oh. I think this guy died and his bus just got left. It says his name on here and that he was having health problems. So he was having chronic health problems, and that's for a hospital. That's papers saying what he was going through. But look at this. The guy lived out here in the desert.
As Dave steps inside, the bus feels like a time capsule. There are bullet holes in the windows, but everything inside seems strangely preserved. Clothes, cooking supplies, and even hospital paperwork are still there, frozen in time.
This is really insane. Look at all this clothing. He left everything behind, and then vandals came, ravaged it. Just going past, so much stuff. Okay. Wow. This is insane, you guys. I can't believe what we stumbled upon. I'd love to know the story, and we're kind of uncovering it right now, because I mean, we have a paper that says the guy's name and his health problems. He was going through a lot of health problems, and this is his checkbook. So he would use checks. Upside down angel. An air hose on the ground. He left all his shoes, all his clothing. His stuff has just been forgotten about in this bus. Then there's an emergency exit. Let's see, 2018, December 2019. That's pretty recent, you know, it's 2025. He lived here just a little while ago, just 6 years ago. This is a whole story that I'd love to uncover if anyone has any information. I don't know if I want to reveal his name or not, but his whole place has just been forgotten about. He had his Toyota. I'm sure that was his daily driver, and then the trailer, and he probably just mined the hills up here, just lived. For anyone wondering, this is called a Lodestar 1800. Old shaker table for mining, and then next to it, a trailer, and then his station wagon. This thing hasn't moved in so long. Whoa.
At first, it seems like this place had been abandoned since the 1990s. But then he spots a calendar from 2019. That one small detail changes everything. Suddenly, it's clear this bus hasn't been empty that long, only about 6 years.
This is weird. Why would they tie a rope to the steering wheel? What's putting me off is this doesn't even smell abandoned. It's just like it's somebody vanished and their vehicle has been left. Nothing has gotten to it yet. Rats haven't chewed through. This is amazing. I don't know, you guys. I really don't know about this. The flash floods over the years are just creating this gully, and any day now, it's just gonna get washed out. He must have had a dog. This is all dog fur on the back. Got the parking brake. 4-wheel drive. Okay. Nice. Reverse. It has the same setup as Suzuki. The key is still in. It's not going to crank over since it's dead battery. I found this note that was left on the seat, and it reads, "Just so you know." Let's see what the rest is. You could pause read, but basically at the end, these Toyotas seemingly run forever with care, and that a teenager owned it, treated it very rough with a whoopty 4-wheeler right after his mom paid for it, as it wasn't his money. So it's basically just saying, you know, it was a teenager's car. He didn't take care of it because he didn't pay for it. It's bizarre because we keep finding stuff that is giving us clues to what happened. You know, we found a note, we found health issues from the hospital, and, you know, just in that Toyota, this guy just vanished. Got the huge water tank above, and we're gonna go check out that cabin real quick and then head up the mountain.
Nearby, he finds an old car with the keys still in the ignition. It's in surprisingly decent shape and looks like it was just parked and left, adding to the mystery of whether this place was truly abandoned or if something happened here that no one ever found out about.
This was his cabin, which seems to be, oh, I was gonna say empty, but it's not. It just looked that way. There's stuff left behind in this too. The bed, the freaking chair. And then going to the next room. Look at that, 2 suitcases. Just look out the window. All right, this is the same guy. So he lived in this cabin too. You could see that's all dog food. So he insulated the walls with dog food bags, old Roy dog food. And we found that fur on the Toyota, which means clearly he was living in this house too. Going into the bathroom. Bathtub's all that's left behind. The wallpaper's all peeling. I'm thinking he may have moved. He didn't build this cabin or anything, because it was maybe abandoned when he moved here. That's why all of this is boarded up, and he put the dog food over it. So this was abandoned. He started living up here. Maybe he worked the mines. Maybe he just didn't. Some people do that. They go out into the BOM land and live because no one's ever going to catch you, or no one's ever going to know you lived in that area. It's just too desolate. But crazy place. I bet you if you read all of this papers and stuff scattered, you would find even more clues to what happened. Shelving up there, a pantry. It's an old flashlight. Well, you guys, I went to scout out these mountains, and unfortunately, it's all gone. The cabins are gone. The mines are caved in, which means there's no clues. I scoured and didn't find anything.
Eventually, Dave learns the chilling truth. This setup belonged to a man named William James, who was reported missing in the area. The personal belongings, the dog fur in the car, the documents, it all paints the picture of someone who once lived here. But despite the clear signs of life, there's been no trace of him since. No confirmed sightings, no recovery, no answers. It's a heartbreaking discovery, and out of respect for William and his family, it's important to remember that this isn't just a creepy find. It's someone's story. Someone who vanished, leaving behind a life still sitting quietly in the desert. As of now, there's been no official update. We can only hope his loved ones find peace, and that one day, there's some kind of closure. We like to think we understand the world around us, but in the quiet of night, it's the unexplainable. The things that move unseen or whisper without warning, that remind us we don't. The next video comes from Uncanny Expeditions, a YouTube channel focused on off-the-grid adventures, with a strong emphasis on exploring areas surrounding classified military sites, like Area 51. It is May the 9th, 2025, and the host sets off on a solo trip to the Area 51 region in a borrowed truck, due to his usual rig being in for service. He plans to camp at the Power Lines Overlook, near Groom Lake, one of the few spots that give you a distant view into the restricted airspace around Area 51.
Well, I managed to get camp set up before the sun went down, so I'll consider that a win. Cheers to that. Orion is looking as majestic as ever tonight. The amount of stars you can see out here in the Nevada desert always blows my mind. It's truly incredible. Let's look back across the valley now towards Area 51. You can see two lights there on the ridge. There's a light on the right. That would be from the front gate. The light on the left is from Papoose Mountain. That's the Papoose Mountain radio site that I showed you a minute ago. Just below that, I think that fainter light is just from the Anchor Brand Ranch. You'll notice a blinking light there moving off to the left. That would be the last of the Janet flights leaving for the night, according to my ADSB flight tracking app. The Janet Airlines flights are, of course, the secret airlines that ferries employees between different classified military installations, including Area 51, back to their terminal in Las Vegas. And look at that, we have a vehicle heading up Groom Lake Road, heading towards the front gate. If they keep going and don't turn around, it's safe to assume that's a camo dude. There's Bald Mountain there, a bunch of radar and surveillance equipment up there. So there wasn't a ton of aircraft activity up until now. After the last of the Janet flights left, it was pretty quiet. Now I'm seeing two strobing lights, looks like two aircraft, with one large light that appeared just on the horizon. Not sure what that is. Looks like whatever's going on is off towards the Tonopah test range.
He sets up camp on top of a hill, giving him a perfect vantage point over the area. As night falls, he begins watching the sky using night vision and a spotting scope.
So at this point, I've been watching the expanse of stars in front of me for quite a while. Been a few hours at this point since I started watching the sky. I noticed just over the horizon to the southwest, I saw what looked like a triangular shape appear over the horizon. And then there was another one right behind it. My first inclination was that this was something exotic, but the rational side of my brain took over, and after looking at the footage a little more carefully, I think it's just satellites. Because if you notice, the objects are moving in a consistent direction and in a consistent speed. But let me know what you think down in the comments. There was a nice meteor catch right there in the middle.
All right, well, good morning. So that was fun. My sleeping pad decided to spring a leak, so I kept having to wake up and blow it up every 2 hours in the night. Yay, tent camping.
He notices something flying overhead. At first, it looks like multiple objects in formation. They could be satellites, but something about the way they move seems off. His thoughts are, they could just be a cluster of satellites, but there's no confirmed explanation for what he captured. Being near Area 51, it's hard not to wonder, were they just satellites or something more advanced? Maybe even something not from here at all. It's a chilling thought that sometimes, when you're alone in a place like that, looking up at the night sky, you start to wonder who's really watching who. Before the next clip, if you're enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and right now, 80% of viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot. Your support helps us continue creating awesome, creepy videos. Now, let's get back to the video. The last video of the night comes from Dustin Frazier, a YouTuber who dives into spooky horror and paranormal content. It is January the 24th, 2025, and while exploring a remote stretch of woods, Dustin begins to notice bones scattered across the ground, likely the leftovers of a predator's feeding ground. But it's not just the eerie setting that gets under his skin. It's what happens next that really sticks with him.
Hello?
Run!
Who's there? What do you want?
The video quickly turns disturbing. In the distance, a strange whistling sound starts to cut through the silence, slow, deliberate, and not quite human. Then come the whispers. Quiet at first, but growing louder, like someone or something is standing right next to him. Dustin spins around, flashlight scanning, but there's nothing there. It's not clear whether this was a human encounter or something paranormal. But either way, it's bone-chilling. Many viewers in the comments shared their own stories, saying they've heard similar things while whistling in the woods. One even mentioned an old myth, that spirits can attach themselves to you if you whistle at night. Whether or not you believe it, one thing's for sure. This is the kind of clip that makes you think twice before wandering off alone in the dark. That's it for tonight's terrifying tales. Thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed the scares, make sure to like and subscribe for more eerie stories from the shadows. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.